What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Run Your Mouth podcast. And there's St. Michael. He's in the feed nice and early. This man, he spends his whole life. He waits for these notifications. The rest of you don't even know how to find these notifications, but they're out there. Anyways, let's hop right into the news. It's going to be a focused episode because I was up until 4 in the morning last night doing all sorts of Adderalls. You know why? End of year project. I'm done. The whole thing's written. Come out to the shell. That's going to be a fucking New Year's party. Get in that car. Drive out to New Hampshire. Meet these other Liberty folks because we've got our own room. And we're going to be partying all night. I'm bringing the Shedcast boys with me. That's what I'm doing with my New Year's. I'm going to run my end of year misinformation spectacular, except that was last year's. I'm not going to rerun last year's. That would make no sense. I got a whole new name. I got a new poster coming out. We're going big this year, everybody. I got some hilarious comedians opening up for me. Then I'm going to be doing, oh, look, it's all the chat regulars. Forest Mommy's up bright and early, too. Look at this. The whole gang is back together. This is nice being in the living room, everybody. So anyways, come out to the shell. Last show I'm doing for this whole year. Maybe there might be some opportunities for me to run it in other locations once I get all the artwork in, but it's done. Came together. Done. Boom. Whole thing's written, and it's being put together. All right, so let's get into some important news topics. But before, we even take a look at today's topics, I think we should all probably chip in and help Trump in his time of needs. This man's got serious legal bills. I guess he looked at the FTX scandal and he was like, man, I'm missing out on some NFT money. He's like, my whole thing is grifting. And look at how much money's in this grift. And I haven't even gotten into this grift. He's like, can someone put me on things that don't look like me? Can someone go rip off clothing ads from other locations and strap my face on it and somehow charge people money for it? I mean, this is such a wonderful Trump moment where he's just like, you know what? I'm going to cash in. Nothing's working out well. And then, of course, he sells it. Oh, my God, does he get out there and sell it? Because we forgot how much of a sales guy Donald Trump is. Because, usually, he's selling how amazing things are. But then when it comes like, hey, I won an election, it's too much. It's a little bit too much for all of us. You get shamans showing up, people raiding buildings, people are going to jail. It becomes not fun. But when Donald Trump's out there, I got the greatest thing anyone's ever seen. The thing I'm going to do, everyone's got to tune in. And then people were getting excited. They're like, oh my God, is he going to finish building the wall? Did he finally find the Kraken? What is this big announcement? Is he telling us that DeSantis is going to be his running mate? Is he telling us that the nuclear files were in fact not nuclear files or that he put out his tax returns, but there was nothing even that juicy in it? I mean, clearly, if the ex-president of the United States of America, who's running again, has a big announcement for us, it must be so. Now he's just selling you some random shit that nobody needs. There you go. Nothing about rounding up pedophiles. Nothing about the QAnon savior finally putting an end to these pizza rings. Just some shitty old NFTs. And now that we've let you know that we should all do our part this holiday season to help out Donald Trump, let's give it the news drop. Here's today's topics. Experts explain how TikTok is secretly turning your kids Chinese. Warner Brothers to relaunch Superman as a thin trans teenager called Super They Them. What Elon Musk's flight patterns reveals. Does the Respect for Marriage Act ban infidelity? And how will the law treat lovers who like being cucked in front of their spouse? Important question. That's going to make it to the Supreme Court. And then lastly, why illegal border crossings are actually illegal and not really happening because Biden already dealt with it. So quit asking about it already. That's not a thing. All right, so now hopefully we don't get in trouble with the Musk man. I don't want to be getting in trouble with the Musk man. I support the Musk man in all of his endeavors. But now I'm a little bit curious. Where was he going? I'm a little bit curious. He's saying that he's banning people because they're publishing where he's going with this plane. And now I'm kind of curious. Where's Elon Musk going with this plane? And so, I found this little thing. But this is old. So Elon, don't be taking me down. I'm not trying to dox you. I think you should be able to securely travel around the country and fuck as many wives as you can take and put as many smart kids out into the world. And then hopefully if you don't figure out how to get to space, they can get us to space. And then you can just make money as like a defense contractor tries to pretend like you're doing good things for the world. But, bring back free speech to at least piss off some of the liberals, which is a nice gesture. And then I don't know what you're doing with the other stuff. But yeah, keep pregnating women. I mean, you can afford it. If you got Elon Musk's brain and Elon Musk's money, you should be able to bust nuts and they should just open up a clinic, a fertility clinic to get pregnated by Elon Musk. Submit your papers, your resume, and it comes with the paycheck. And then hopefully we end up with smarter people. Or maybe that's just like the next generation of people that we all end up being underlings of the Elon. Like, we were worried about CRISPR and designer babies, and then really we're just going to be underlings to the overlords, which will be Musk's genius babies when he opens up the clinic for impregnating women with good resumes. But anyways, here we go. I looked at the map, and look at that pattern. Is this man sending us a message? Or is this how he gets his money? Did he find a hack in this simulation where that if he drives in this exact pattern, he just becomes successful? Is that what's going on? He figured it out. It's like a computer game, and he's so smart, he realized, oh my God, I'm in a simulation. And then he figured out the cheat code because they programmed a cheat code into the hack that if you fly in this exact pattern at those exact coordinates, boom, next thing you know, you're a super genius person with rockets that you can actually exit the simulation and live forever. I see what he's up to. What happens if you drive in this exact pattern? Do you still get the Elon Musk magical simulation powers? Is that the way it works? Because if it does, I'll start a road trip right now. Who wants to get in a car and drive cross country in a zigzag type pattern where maybe you got to like drive? That's pretty funny. You're driving straight through somebody's field and they're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, I'm tapping into the algorithm right now. I got to set a direct path right here. Maybe you have to do the whole thing on foot. Maybe I just came up with the dumbest movie of all time. The man who convinces himself that the Elon Musk flight pattern is the cheat code in the algorithm, and that if you travel this exact pattern, you get magical powers. And so he realizes that he can't get a plane charter to go in this exact pattern. So he gets the coordinates. He sets sail with his backpack and other supplies. He ports towards at people's destinations en route. And then, this is actually a pretty good cartoon because it's like each episode he's got to traverse a new area. And then sometimes the areas, they're barricaded off. He can't get through it. My God, how did I get through school with an imagination like this? All right, so then you got Musk removing people. He's pulling a real Libby move here where he goes, I just don't feel safe. I know I got all this money and my nice jets and all these billions of dollars, but you guys just aren't making me feel safe. And so he's claiming he took down a whole bunch of liberal journalists, and he's claiming that it's because they were reporting on his travels to these women that he's impregnating. He's got a lot of baby mamas he's got to visit. Are these liberal journalists trying to say that Musk shouldn't be visiting his baby mamas prior to Christmas and bringing all the little Musk babies Christmas toys? Is that what the liberal journalists are saying? Or is that the attack that these people have on the holiday season, family values, and Christmas, that they don't think that this billionaire man should be able to travel to his various different families? What is he just supposed to pick one family to be with, and then that gets to be the winner of the Elon Musk family Christmas experience? Good thing we took these liberal journalists off of Twitter. I mean, the attacks that they have on family values and visiting your multiple wives for Christmas season, it's disgusting. Now, you shouldn't be taking people off. I mean, this is the Washington Post. Musk suspends journalists from Twitter's claims assassination danger. Company executives allege that the more than half a dozen reports endangered Twitter's owners by sharing his location, but a review of their tweets shows no evidence of it. But then again, this is the headline for the Washington Post. Maybe that's all that these people were doing the whole time. It's a brand new story, so I don't have all the information. I don't know why that's a Biden impression. All right, next up, we got a video here where we've got the FTX scandals going on, and you got to respect the sales skills of Mr. Wonderful, pulling a Donald Trump, showing right up and lying through his teeth. Let's give it a listen.
Why do you believe FTX failed?
I have an opinion. I don't have the records. Here it is. These two behemoths that own the unregulated market together and grew these incredible businesses in terms of growth were at war with each other. And one put the other out of business intentionally. Now, maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe there's nothing wrong with love and war. But finance is a massive, unregulated global monopoly now. They put FTX out of business.
Why do you believe FTX
What a
failed?
crybaby. What a crybaby. Hey, my investment's gone, but those guys are unregulated. The winners, someone's going to regulate them and ruin their business too. Yeah, they put your business out of business because you were frauds. And then they called you out for it. I mean, don't be frauds. And then your business competitors, it's like if you were selling a protein powder that was actually poison, and then the other protein powder company said, hey, I just want to let you guys know we tested their other thing and it's poison. And then you showed up and said, well, the competitor put us out of business. No, they let everyone know that your product was fucking poison. Don't sell poison, and then your competitors can't put you out of business. The fact that your competitor put you out of business, if you're actually just running a fraudulent company, they still help consumers. I mean, what a move. Just showing up and going, but now they're unregulated too. The people that, save people from more fraud. All right.
Why
What
do you
other
believe
videos I got? Here we go. This is Biden. Really getting into some creepy shit. And before I get into Biden creepy shit, you know, if you want to have fantastic ideas like the ones I do, like my movie idea for traveling cross country across people's properties to try and be in the exact flight pattern of Elon Musk's plane so that I can get the magical powers and defeat the algorithm, YoDelta.com. That's what you need. You need some gummies in your life. If you're over the age of 21, go get a whole big old bag of gummies. Just eat maybe one nibble at a time because they're pretty fucking potent. And tell me what kind of thoughts you have. Promo code RYM, you get 20% off. And feel like getting high and having weird thoughts. That's the way to do it. You get yourself a big old bag of gummies. Maybe you're off for Christmas season. You don't have any plans. You just want to stare at your Christmas tree, buy yourself Christmas gifts, forget what you bought yourself online, and then open it and get excited. I do that, by the way. Like when there's Amazon packages in my building and I don't have any Amazon packages, I feel like a kid on crap like Akamaiks because I didn't buy anything. But then when I do order things on Amazon and things show up and it comes like a full 24 hours later and I don't remember what I bought, you know how exciting that is? So think about what you could do as a single person on Christmas where you buy yourself a Christmas tree and then you shop while you're on your Deltas, you put the stuff under the tree and then you get to open it up. You don't even know what you bought. Tell me that's not the greatest Christmas, and then it's a gift from you to you. So it's like, it's going to be a good one. All right. So YoDelta.com, promo code RYM, 20% off. Now let's listen to Joe Biden, who he doesn't just want to solve Americans' problems. I mean, sure, we got problems in this country. Don't look at the border because he already solved that. So that's not an issue. But, I guess the inflation thing, but now he solved that. Gas prices, they're coming back down. I don't know. We somehow defeated Putin. Maybe we're secretly tunneling things in. No pipelines. It's just coming up through the ocean. I don't know how prices are magically coming down after the midterm elections. I always thought the liberals were more rigging the system than the Republicans. So I don't know what happened. Or maybe prices aren't really coming down. Maybe it's just the gas prices, but all the other prices are going way up. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. So let's just watch this video.
MCC investments are part of the work we're doing worldwide through the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. I propose this initiative together with the rest of the G7 to help fill the need for quality, high-standard infrastructure in Africa and in low-income and middle-income countries around the world. At the G7 meeting earlier this year, we announced our intention to collectively mobilize $600 billion in the next 5 years. Today's announcement, join a portfolio of Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment projects already underway in Africa, including mobilizing $8 billion in public and private finance to help South Africa replace coal-fired power plants with renewable energy sources and develop cutting-edge energy solutions like clean hydrogen.
I'm going to stop there because what that sounds like to me is that you're bribing certain individuals with $8 billion of capital, and in return, they just have to make sure the poor people that live in their countries are worse off. You'll give them $8 billion as long as they commit to you to get rid of the coal plants and replace it with something that's not going to give as much electricity at the prices that you can produce the coal at, which I get, hey man, maybe there is an investment in green energy alternatives that will lead us to a path where windmills actually produce great electricity. But from everything I understand, we ain't there yet. And the free market would be the pathway to get there. Because if someone invented one of these windmills and it actually was better and cleaner than coal, I don't think anyone would be against it. But here you go. They're going, even in other countries, we got to make sure that BlackRock and these ESG people are making their money. We got to make sure that all capital is flowing into this green energy initiative. And so we'll bribe your officials and leaders and people in the preferred class by making sure that your energy is more expensive. But hey, here's $8 billion for green energy. I mean, that's the way I see it. You're bribing the elites in that country with money that I'm sure a lot of it's not going to go into working windmills. And just in response, you just have to make sure that your energy prices are a little bit more expensive.
MCC investment.
All right, what else we got here? What's in the Kennedy assassination files released? So, of course, they wait all these years. They get the redacted file team, which has to sit there, and it's like Mad Libs, and they have to fill in the blanks. And so they just keep going through the blanks. They're like, yeah, it was that one guy. Yeah. I mean, here's 70 pages of what was blank space, but it just confirms it was that one guy. It's like they said, don't think the CIA would ever do anything that they're not supposed to do. I never really looked into the Kennedy assassination, but you always got to love when government finally comes out and goes, all right, we're finally going to release the information, and it's to confirm everything that we already said. But hey, that's transparency. That's why we held all this information that just confirms the mainstream narrative for 60 years. What, did it take you 60 years to fill in the blanks? I mean, why was all this information being hidden from us if it's just a confirmation of everything that's already happened? I mean, that's the information you guys had to keep back. That's how not transparent you guys are. Maybe that's the deeks. That's like the feints that you guys do so that we go, oh, look, they're hiding that information. Then people go, well, maybe it's like the Kennedy information where they finally put out. It just turns out it was everything that you already knew. Thomas Massey, this is a good one. Might not be YouTube safe, but hey, this is a congressman, YouTube. Go after the congressman. I'm not even saying that this is accurate. I'm just saying that it was an interesting tweet. I can't be a factual expert on everything that I come across on Twitter. Sometimes I don't research it all, and I just go, hey, I like the Massey guy, and here's what he had to say. Thought this was interesting. FDA allows Pfizer to distinguish severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 from coronavirus disease 2019, so they can publicly claim to prevent COVID-19. That's a pretty great legal marketing move. Oh, is that pretty excellent? How excellent is that? Where now we've got COVID-19 too. And so you're saying that as long as you're taking this thing, you're not going to get original COVID-19. Hey, look, this thing solves COVID-19. That's a pretty good weasel Jew trick. I mean, if that's what Pfizer's actually pulling here with their new medications, where they're going, hey, this cures COVID-19 because they got a new thing that's not the COVID-19. I mean, yeah, you're still going to get that. I mean, we didn't study this thing for infection, and we're not going to compare it to natural immunity because you're not supposed to do that. But we're on YouTube, so we're going to watch our words. Here, this is from Thomas Massey. You guys can go follow him. Pfizer BioNTech vaccine and Pfizer BioNTech vaccine bivalent, original, and Omicron BA4, BA5. You just ramble this shit off like you're in an auction, and then people think you're smart. That's what you got to do. You got to take these medical journals, and then you read the shit so fast that people just trust that you know what you're reading, and then you come off really smart. If you guys want to start podcasts, I'm just giving you guys the tips for how you can come off really smart. There's some simple tricks. Maybe I'll give that class. Simple tricks to be an ignoramus and have people convinced that you know what you're talking about. Authorized for use under emergency use authorization for active immunization to prevent coronavirus disease 19 caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. All right, moving on. Washington Post announces layoffs during tense town hall before publisher Fred Ryan storms out. You got to go watch this Fred Ryan guy. This Fred Ryan guy is like straight out of a movie Boss, where he shows up and he just doesn't give a shit. And he's like, I'm not going to take any questions. Man, you guys have good questions. What am I in a room with journalists here? I mean, what kind of a dick energy shows up and goes, hey, I just want to make an announcement that since we stopped doing honest journalism and we've gotten a lot of stories wrong and we've mostly been putting out propaganda, people don't really want to read our newspaper anymore. And so subscriptions are down 50% because, people are really only that interested in propaganda. There's only so many people that want to spend money just so that they can support propagandists that everyone can pretend like that's mainstream and important because it was there. Only so many people are going to contribute to not being informed and just playing for their team and going, oh, look, this is in the Washington Post. But what kind of a dick shows up before Christmas and goes, all right, listen, collectively, we all fucked up. Nobody's reading our newspaper and subscriptions are down 50%. And now my job's fine because, I'm in charge and sure, nothing's working out, but like my job's not going away. But a lot of you people are going to lose your jobs and that's it. I'm leaving. You can't do that. You can't just tell people that they may or may not be losing their jobs at some sort of a town hall meeting in the middle. Like, what kind of a fucking dick ass move is that? You just got to fire people. You got to make your decisions about who you're firing. You pull them into HR, and then you have the nice, pretty lady who pretends like she's the nicest person in the world sit there and hand everyone the piece of paper and go, here's the formal policy, and here's what you're going to get paid, and you're not supposed to touch women at the office. We've all sat down with HR. We all know what that thing looks like. All right, we only got a couple more topics, and then we got Robert coming on with his monthly tips, setting intentionality, writing down your goals, vision boards, and bringing what you want into the world. Like the most comfortable underwear anyone's worn, and you use promo code RYM, you get yourself 20% off that underwear at sheathunderwear.com. All right, here we go. So I was watching this press conference with Jean-Pierre. I never watched the full press conferences, but luckily Twitter, they cut up all the good moments. And so here, instead of playing it, I'm just going to read. I might have done this on the last episode. So if I did, I apologize. If for the next 60 seconds, I'm accidentally repeating myself, I apologize. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre defended the Biden administration's response to the border crisis during a press briefing Thursday. When asked about the border, Jean-Pierre told reporters, what Americans should know is that the president has done the work to deal with what we're seeing at the border since day one. So he's done the work to deal with it. He hasn't dealt with it yet, but he's done the work since day one so that at a future point in time, when he chooses to deal with it, you can basically just consider it dealt with. I know that on a daily basis, the solution that he's already worked out but hasn't implemented and looks like he doesn't have a solution, because why wouldn't you just implement the solution? If you sat down on day one, you worked out a solution, why wouldn't you? It's like, hey, man, don't worry about the fact that your legs feel like they're on fire because I've already worked on the solution. Well, can you give me the solution? Because my legs feel like they're burning. I got this skin disease that I got because I decided to go swimming in South America, and they don't clean their pools too good. And I decided to take a piss in this pool while I was in the pool. And now I came home and my skin, I got this flesh-eating thing. And the doctor's like, don't worry, since you told me about this, I already worked on a solution. Well, I told you about it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but I already worked on this. Well, can you give me the fucking solution? I mean, what a great spin that is. Hey, don't worry about it. Biden, since day one, he worked out the solution. I mean, we're not sure if he's even going to implement the solution, but he hasn't. He's worked it out. Don't even ask about this anymore. This one's cool. I've been hearing about nuclear fission, nuclear fusion my whole life. They keep saying I don't even know the difference. This one's over my this one's over my pay grade. But you know what's not over my pay grade? The fact that I like open markets, I like investments in technology, and I like the idea that we might get to a future where if we don't let these fucking windmill globalists want to feed you bugs and not be allowed to trade with each other and live free lives without vaccine passports and digital currencies in which they can remove you from the system at any point in time, when you just go, I don't understand why these people get to control the resources and own things while I have to rent the resources from them, when it used to be a time when I could just go and buy shit. So I like a world where we trade with each other, scientists that are way smarter than me invent really cool shit that I get to enjoy. And we have a system based on value, competing with one another, where the best products win out. I like that reality. And every once in a while, you read about a technological development that gets you excited for humanity, where you go, hey, maybe we'll figure out some solutions. Maybe scientists are out there, they're sitting around, they're working on smart shit. They're not all working at Pfizer doing emergency authorizations. Maybe there's actually some good, honest, hard work going on out there. And so the problem, I guess, of nuclear fission or fusion, I guess in this case it's fusion. Like, you got nuclear bombs, which I guess it has the radioactivity because you split the nuclear bombs. And when you split the atom, you get this plethora of electricity, and then we're harvesting the electricity. This, I think, works in the opposite way, where you're actually like merging atoms together, and then you get electricity without all the radioactivity and other bullshit. And I guess the promise that they had was that if we got to a point in time where it actually, you could use less if more electricity came out, let's just look at it in a magic box. You got a magic box that scientists are working on, that you might be able to use less electricity going into the box than comes out of the box. And they're saying that they finally solved it. All right. And then I got one more topic, and then we're going to hang out with Robert, who's making a run from his office. I can see him backstage, checked in 2 minutes early, and then he decided he was going to go change the sheets. I see him, actually. You guys don't see this because you're, but Robert doesn't realize that his camera's still on, and I'm actually watching him change into the newest and most comfortable of the sheets. It looks like that must be the bab. Oh, wow. Robert's got a wonderful piece. I'm sorry, guys. I would like to share this with you, but I don't know that Robert would appreciate that. And he's got a wife. He doesn't, they don't need everyone on the internet barking at him and going, wow, Robert, that's, I even had another news story that I was going to get into. All right, here, last news story. And then hopefully Robert realizes that his camera's on and he actually puts his pants back on, and then we can talk about goal setting for this upcoming year. All right, Fortune. People who skip their COVID vaccine are at higher risk of traffic accidents, according to a new study. So, I mean, they've really scraped to the bottom of the barrel of what it was long COVID. It was, you're going to spread the disease. You're dying at higher rates. And now the best that they can come up with is people that haven't been vaccinated are more likely to get into car accidents. And at first I was like, yeah, you know what? That kind of sounds like that could be true. Because I know myself, I drive like a fucking asshole. And I also, same personality, drives like an asshole. Wasn't going to listen when they were like, hey, trust us on this thing. I look at your highway signs with your 55 speed limits and I go, yeah, I know what you guys are doing. You just want to ticket me. I can drive way faster than that and do it safely and securely, and I'll keep my eyes out for cops. And plus, I'm an ADD maniac, and I like driving in S patterns, and I'm like, fucking move it. That's me in the car. I don't know the way you guys drive, but, you see the energy. I want to keep this fucking thing moving. I'm weaving in and out. I'm having a good time when I'm in the car. So I look at this stat, I'm like, maybe that's accurate. But now I got to thinking, even this supposedly accurate stat, which, all right, so I guess we better go get vaccinated, because if we vaccinate ourselves, maybe we can change our entire personalities, and then we won't be risk takers in the same way. There's also a possibility that if you're doing a look back on information, unvaccinated people were just out and about more. The unvaxxed people were like, yeah, I'm going to go live my life. And so maybe they were just spending more time in cars. And so then last year they actually got into more car accidents. Or the people that were unvaccinated were also the ones who were like, yeah, I'm going to keep working. Not going to tell me that I can't work. I'm just saying, didn't read it, but those were some of my takeaways. The real takeaway was just the fact that this is where we're at in terms of the not being vaccinated bashing, is that we're more likely to get into car accidents. And I don't think that taking a vaccine is somehow going to prevent or cure you from being in car accidents. All right, let's take a couple comments while we wait for Robert to get his pants on and rejoin us. And so going into comments, this is your big opportunity, everybody. I mean, you want to talk about professional broadcasting. I told this man 11, and we're here at exactly 11. Robert's making a comeback. Roscoe, who showed up with silver, which is fucking cool. Thank you, Mr. Roscoe. Go give the fellow a follow. Showed up to the live show out in Omaha, Nebraska. One of the best shows I've done to date. Showed me a sheath and handed me some silver coins. St. Michael, we had a nuclear plant in Maine from the 70s and 90s. It provided 99% of the power for the state. We got Luke Tweed. I fucking love you, Robbie. Luke, you the man too. Get out there, skateboard. Sheets piece. All right. And then we got two more, and then we're getting to Robert. Hippie, vaccine will prevent car accidents if it turns, not going to read that. Saving you a tooth. Thanks, Luke.
This test. All right.
All right, Robert, give me 1 second. I got to change a couple settings, and then we can take it out here. Give me 1 second.
Testing. What's up, everybody? Shout out to Run Your Mouth. Go ahead, Robbie. Do your thing.
You sound great, and I'm giving you the heads up. You're going to have to go back and re-listen to this episode because you didn't realize that you left your camera on, and so I live broadcasted what you were up to.
Oh, shit.
It's all good.
Are you psycho?
All right. So, Mr. Robert, firstly, it's been a minute. How you been?
I am living the dream. It's 1 degree here in Colorado, or in Woodland Park, and just got back from the gym and, had a good night's sleep, relatively speaking. But doing business, we just, got through with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I guess it's been a while now, but we, dealing with the holiday sale rush, and it was like we crushed it. Thank you, everyone out there. Thank you, Robbie, for promoting us. Really appreciate all the love and support.
Hell yeah. So listen, before we even get into setting goals for next year, business tips, I'm curious to know, last year you launched the base layers.
Yeah.
In which the long johns, I was never a long johns guy. That was the greatest thing ever. Like I usually wear pajama pants when I go skiing. I was just wearing that under my the waterproof pants. Unbelievably comfortable.
I know. Surprisingly effective too at keeping you warm.
Yeah, no, that was an absolute win. So I'm curious, any new winter products coming at us?
Well, because winter's here, and it's going to be probably 2023 before we get a new design or whatever. But we have hoodies. We still have base layers available. So nothing particularly new. Yeah, but
I'm gonna follow up with you because I want some more long johns because I really do enjoy those. And then we got to get a new run of Run Your Mouth hats for 2023.
Run Your Mouth hats 2023 for sure. I want you to start wearing the shirt. We started sponsoring this guy, Travis Ridgeland. He's a hockey player,
right?
And he has a podcast and YouTube channel, and he only wears sheath shirts. And I love that. I think I've mentioned that to you. I'm like, this guy fucking knows how to rock it. You're always rocking the hat. I'm always rocking the hat.
There you go. Well, I'm a bald man, so I got to protect myself from the elements. All right, Robert, let's get into it. Let's talk goals. Let's talk intentionality. Let's talk
Yeah.
vision boards. I was blessed to be a part of your vision board last year, and I feel like it brought me some good karma. I looked it up. I did 25, I think, independently produced my own comedy shows across the country.
That's like half the year.
Yeah,
Then 20
which it's better than that because my initial goal was to actually do 20. I wanted to basically do, I tried to do every other like weekend. And in the first quarter of the year, I had a bad quarter. And then I was just like, I was home all winter. And then like I kind of got moving, but I made up for it because I was away all summer. This past week, I did 4 states. So I feel like I hit my touring goal of to do 24 different cities in America. And I definitely want to go bigger next year. But we did it, Robert.
Yeah, and it was all thanks to my vision board. You know
I
what
think it was.
I've been doing vision boards since 2010, and it's amazing what you put on there that actually comes true. And I don't know if it's magic, the universe is corresponding to your dreams, but it definitely focuses you on your mission and like what you're trying to attain. And if someone else is helping you with that magical aspect, somebody put me on their vision board and put 20 mil on there, maybe we can swap. I'll do you and you do me. But also I'm going to put stuff for myself. 2023 is looking promising, already, just from a preparedness. We're ready. We got a lot of new designs. We just did a new design for Cowboy Cerrone, even though he retired from
cool.
the
He's still
UFC.
cool.
Yeah, he's still cool, and he still rocks us and promotes us. And I listened to that Tony Hinchcliffe ad read that you put out, and man, did he kill it. I love that he loves Sheath. We pay a lot of people to sponsor, to wear Sheath and promote us, but you can tell the difference between people who are just doing an ad read, like the Timbo Sugar Show. Oh, just kidding. Shout out to Sugar Sean O'Malley. But and then Tony Hinchcliffe, who I don't think he read anything. He was just going from his heart, speaking from the heart.
Well, hey man, it's not hard. Once you start wearing Sheath, you become a Sheath lever. There you go.
Sheath levers. Don't leave Sheath though. Stay with Sheath.
Right.
Leave.
Yeah, I was trying to do like a
believer. Yeah. No, I got you. I'm playing with you. We're having a good time.
There you go.
Yeah. You're all hoodied up. I got 2 hoodies on and a little puffy jacket because I just it's 1 degree here. But anyway.
I treated myself. I put on the heat this morning because I was up till 4 a.m. last night working on my end of year thing. I got it done. It's all written. And sadly, I was really hoping. Well, the good news is half of the material I'm doing, I've been grinding on stage and it's done and it works. I was really hoping this year to be able to I thought it was going to be done sooner so that I could line up shows and run it so that by the time I filmed it, it would be more done. But that didn't happen. You got to roll with the punches. So I got 15 minutes, which is polished because I've been doing it. It's it's done. And then I got a completely new 15, which I'll be doing for the first time. Probably I'll do a Zoom show and then night of. But I'm done. It's into my artist. And but then I woke up this morning real tired. I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to some heat. I feel like I earned it.
Wow, 4 a.m. I was in bed at 8:30. Life is, it looks all glamorous. Check out Bobby the Bank on my YouTube, Instagram, and my YouTube channel, Robert Patton Global. But it's, I don't even want to get into it, but it's not as glamorous as it always looks. I'm still living, and struggling as a human with my own personal demons, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we all got that. What we have to add to the vision board is I want to do the Manitou incline again next summer because that was an absolute blast.
Yes.
And I feel like I could one up it next year because now I kind of know how to train for it.
Okay, maybe I have some pictures of us up on the Manitou incline. I actually mentioned you on Instagram. I was scrolling last night and came across Forest Mommy, and she was talking about how they imposed that that medicine on us, on everyone, and made it
right.
And how fucked up that was. And I was just like, some people were firing people because they didn't get the jab, whatever. But I was gonna fire people for getting it. But And then I'm like, but that wouldn't be fair.
Right.
You got to let people have make their own choices, and
Right.
medical decisions I thought were supposed to be private, but that's another conversation.
Hey man, that's a based ass company. Pure unvaccinated, because you don't want to be shedding. You don't want your workers folding up underwear, shedding their mRNAs onto the underwear, and then it infecting us pure unvaccinated blood, pure, primo nuts. I mean, that's what I'm walking around with. You just got to give it a couple more years for the science to catch up, where I get to open up my premium unvaccinated sperm bank, and I get to
Yeah.
let people know that I've also been housing it in sheath. So I have the most pristine of all the sperms. And
Yeah.
we can't have vaccinated coworkers shedding on that materials. YouTube, if you don't understand that I'm joking and this
We're
is the
just
third
kidding.
strike on my channel, would you? Hey man, it'll be worth it. Whatever. All right, Robert. Let's give the people a little bit of guidance here, because it's
Yeah.
something I think about quite a bit, and I'm trying to put it more into action. But like living with intentionality, not letting the universe act on you, but you kind of imposing your will on the universe, and really kind of drumming up, hey, this is what I want to achieve, and then putting thoughts into action and going out there and, like, forcing your will upon the world, not just sitting back and letting the universe make decisions for you. So I feel like that's the general theme of kind of writing down the goals.
Yeah.
That's the way I think about it, living with intentionality. So I hand it to you. Tell us about the process for the vision boards, and like, how can people approach it? Like, imagine this is arts and crafts with Robert. Maybe we should have done that as a segment.
Yeah. Well, let me preface by saying this. I was just reading this book by Steve Jobs, and it's like he's in his cancer stage of the book, and the point is like we're all going to die, so you might as well follow your heart. And so whatever you want, you can have, like, to a realistic degree, but don't be realistic. Being realistic is for the normies. We're trying to live the dream. And so dream big, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. I mean, you can look at me, this stoner fucking felon who, joined the army at 26 and got out started Sheath. And I actually made my first vision board while I was in Iraq. And I had just got done watching the movie The Secret by Rhonda Burns. And they talk about these vision boards, like you get a poster board, and then get a stack of magazines, and then also maybe scroll through some of your photos on your phone, some of your happy moments, because you want to be happy when you're doing this. You
Good
want to
energy.
be putting out positive vibes into the vision board, and like, good energy is key. So key. And it's hard to like hold on to it. So it's like a fish could slip away sometimes, but try to do your best while you're making it.
Where do you put the vision board? Is it something that you look at every morning when you wake up? Is it something, if other people look at it, erodes the power of it? Like,
Is it
where
a
does the
secret
vision board actually
altar?
go? Yeah.
You make a secret altar. You got to put candles in there and a little meditation spot. You want it to be in a spot where you're going to be able to see it frequently to kind of generate, and you want to like be happy when you're looking at it. It should make you happy to see like what is to come. You might have a little bit of stuff from the past that it brings good feelings, but essentially you want to just start combing through like travel magazines, fortune magazines, Time, whatever it is, where in a lot of ads. You might have like a rolly, a yacht, a jet, a beach, whatever car you want, stacks of money, just fucking piles of money, and then and then you cut yourself out and put yourself like in a pile of money, or on the jet, or with the girl, or or at the party laughing. You want to like visualization. Well, it's a different topic, but this will help you kind of see the thing instead of just writing it down. So writing it down is also key. Writing your goals down, I feel like writing goals down is kind of like what witches did in the past. It's like a spell book, and you're performing magi and you're like writing it down, but then there's no visual there. The vision board is to put your goals on in like images, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it can just be whatever makes you happy, what like a house, location, travel.
I'm going to put myself right in between Mackenzie Bezos and Bill Gates' ex-wife. And that's going to be the whole vision board. I'm going to end up marrying both of them this year.
Are you?
Divorcing
Yeah.
them both and taking a quarter of Bill Gates and Bezos' money. So I end up with half. I'll end up on the richest list of people for sure.
Dude, you would like skyrocket right up to the top there. And
That's what I'm
I
talking
think
about.
they're a little on the upper edge of the age group.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay. See, and I'm
Yeah.
vain. I'm so vain. I want hot, but good energy. So,
Right.
I mean, like, but to each his anal, as Mark
There you go.
Norman would.
All right. Let's call it an episode, Robert. Thank you so much for coming on once again. The loyal support of the show, making the world's
Yes.
finest underwears. Use promo code RYM and get yourself 20% off. I got a pair on right now.
Me
Which one
too.
am I wearing? Which one are you wearing?
I think the
Oh, I-
camo. Oh no, these are.
I got the greens.
Oh,
I got
those
the
are
matrices.
the matrices. Those sold so fast. I have a bamboo pair. It's called the G6. Fly like a G6. It's a horizontal fly. Thank you for having me on. Love you, buddy.
Hell yeah. All right, everyone. That's our show. Thanks for hanging out. Shell, come on out in New Hampshire, end of year, doing the recap, full concert with the Shedcats gang, and some point over the summer, I'll be back over your way and we'll do the Manitou Incline.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, peace.
Peace, everybody.